Welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast, a production from Empowering Pumps and Equipment as the voice of the pump and related equipment industries. Welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast. I'm your host, Charli Matthews. I'm so excited to be in the office on the mic with you today. I've been traveling, running around, having such a great time. We've done TPS and WEFTEC, empowering women, and I just really wanted to talk about EPIC today. And so that's the Empowering Pump and Industry Conference. It's going to be on November 8th and 9th at the Water Tower. And who better to talk to than my steering committee? They have been helping put all of this together. So the ones that were available today jumped on here, and we're just going to hear from them and just really, dive into what is EPIC, why are we involved in this, and what can we expect. So I'm going to just quickly tell you why I created, along with my team and this committee, Empowering Pumps and Industry Conference. We love events. We love bringing people together, connecting everyone, both the workforce, the current workforce, and our future workforce with industry, being able to see all of the equipment. And, it's just amazing to be able to bring those people together, to show the technologies, to show what, and really to really think about. And I guess I'm working a struggle here with grammar because of imagining innovation is our theme, but imagine innovation, that works too. So without further delay, I am going to introduce here our steering committee. And so I'm just going to change views here so everybody can see everyone on gallery. I have no idea if it's going to go back and forth or not. But for the people that are on YouTube, I want to just show you who we have here on the mic today. And I have to start with Becca Mechtensheimer, and let you know that she's recently gotten married, and she's just full of glow. And I don't know what to call her yet. So Becca, introduce yourself.
Thank you. And I mean, it's still Becca Mechtensheimer. The last name will change at some point in the future, but for now it's just Mechtensheimer.
Okay. When I came out of my mouth, I was like, is that right? Oh gosh, I don't know what to do. So thank you. Becca has been our chief of staff this year, putting together all the pieces in so many different places, but EPIC specifically, and helping us really be organized and ready to go for November. So Becca, I know why you're joining as part of staff, but what are you excited about?
I mean, I think it's probably the most exciting thing for probably all of our team, but it's really the people. I mean, what we love doing the most as a business through Empowering Pumps is the people and being able to connect with our industry. And so that's really why you started this event, for us connecting everyone together. And that really is the most valuable part. I know for a lot of the people on our team, but specifically for me, I love being able to see our industry people and interact and engage with them in person, and just to help them learn. Like it's very valuable to continue to help people learn. I know my journey of becoming in this role, a lot of learning has had to take place. And so being able to have that for other people is just a really special thing that we're able to be a part of.
Yeah, I love the communication element of it. And y'all know, because y'all been to EPIC already, this is our second annual, that we have conversations. We make people talk to each other, right? It's really important to have those opportunities. And I say make, and it's invited to, encouraged along the way. Gakuo, I'm going to go to you next. Tell us a little bit about why you are part of this committee.
Hey, Charlie. Yeah, well, first of all, I think you and I have known each other for years. And the reason I like to be part of the committee and also part of EPIC is it's different. I think if you've attended conferences and exhibitions, they tend to have a very sales and product centric focus. And I can tell you from last year, EPIC is different. It feels like you're going there to network, you're going there to share knowledge, to meet people and learn. So that's actually what I'm most excited about.
I love that. I can see everybody nodding and smiling. It's so great. Okay, HJ, your turn.
So there's a few things. First of all, thanks, Charlie. And I'm so happy to participate in this regard with this conference. And I'll use that word conference, right? What Epic is for me that's really important is it's more intimate, right? You go to a trade show, it feels like it's one way. You're listening, or if you're trying to get attention from somebody, you're fighting for that space. I think, Epic is intimate in the fact that it's one-to-one. You can have those discussions, everybody can engage. And the second thing about that intimacy is it also allows you to have a venue that's really exciting, right? When you go to a conference, if you're going to, we'll just say the McCormick Center or whatever, right? It's conference room driven, it's trade show hall driven. This is at facilities, the water tower, right? I mean, this is at facilities that are meaningful for the industry. And then one other thing, the third thing is the engagement with students, right? The next generation of leaders. I mean, you do a really great job. Epic does a really great job of inviting students and allowing seasoned industry professionals to see what's coming, to help them to sort of encourage that spot and give them a view of where they might want to work and be leaders in our industry.
I love that. And really, these places that we pick as far as the venues, they are designed for industry and learning. And the water tower specifically is designed with this type of event in mind, where you can hook up equipment, but you can have a space for meetings, you have a space to connect on that one-on-one level as well. And the labs also are pretty cool. Ron, it's your turn.
Hey, well, first of all, I guess I would state that, I might follow you off a cliff, Charlie, to anything. So once again, when I knew Charlie, when you said you were putting this together, you had me at hello to start. And I think all of us feel that way. Number two, I think HJ said really a big thing is this feeling of it just being so different and intimate as a group. And once again, sometimes I think some of these big trade shows are kind of living kind of in the past, or kind of in a bubble of what trade shows were like 10 or 20 years ago, where, it's very restricting and it's very robotic almost. And I think yours is really kind of another, Epic really kind of is another generation where people are very much focused on how to network, another great word that was mentioned, and working together and really kind of seeing where the industry is going. I mean, it's so, I guess I would say front looking, forward looking compared to others. And once again, this is all kind of an outgrowth on what you've done to industry in general with empowering brands, and that you've kind of just now moved it into a conference. So yes, I am very excited, and excited to go to Atlanta. I was excited to go to Houston last year, and once again, I think you've also assembled such a great group for presenters and for your steering committee that I've just have enhanced my own career by getting to know these people that are on this call with me today. So that's where I would say, and I'm really excited about Atlanta coming up very soon.
I think that first of all, thank you. I'm always the praises. I just love them. Thank you very much. I do give myself credit for listening to our customers, and we know what the future should look like, because we're helping to create it because of all of our conversations together. The things that we found at events that we missed or we wanted more of, and we've put this together in a show, pulling all the best of the best right into one thing. Randy, it's your turn.
Well, I think, Charlie, you had invited me to start sharing articles on your Empowering Pumps platform pretty much right from the beginning. And
Yes.
And you made it really easy. I mean, it was like, I all I had to do is just send some things by email, and there was no administrative hassle. I mean, it just happened. And then over the years, I mean, we would meet up at conferences, and as you traveled around, I mean, we even connected up with my wife Sandy and our daughter Callie, and had breakfast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even got to drive in that car.
That little car, right? And anyway, around Hollywood, right? Actually, I'm in Texas right now, enjoying it. Austin, Texas, wonderful place. And so when you invited us to Epic in San Jacinto, Pasadena, Texas, I thought, well, why not? I mean, I can just drive there, easy peasy. it turns out that that was a fabulous venue. I mean, it was, I was completely blown over by the school. It's got to be one of the best technical schools in the country for process industries and everything. And the whole setup with the students and networking and everything was wonderful. And so this year, you know, when you invited us to the water tower in Georgia, I thought, yeah, certainly, yeah, definitely, I'm going.
Well, I think it'll be as impressive in a different kind of feel and really intentional about using the water tower. And then I'll just mention now we will be for 2024 going to the Colorado School of Mines, and similar, you go into that facility. Well, I learned about it through the podcast. I was interviewing people, and all these people were coming out of the Colorado School of Mines. I was like, okay, well, what is this? I need to know about it. So I was on a flight and I had a layover, and I was like, well, let me just drive out there and see what it's like. And it's so convenient and awesome. And they're really easy to work with. It's a great venue. But it has that element of what else can we teach our industry? How can we excite them? How can we inspire both ourselves and the next generation? And so it's all based on listening and engaging and talking to people and seeing how we can, I won't say necessarily solve problems. That's part of it. But it's how can we make them successful? How can we give them tools and resources, which absolutely includes people into that, you know, as far as assets.
Yeah.
All right. HJ, yes.
Yeah, Charlie, I wanted to add to that. I think one of the things that's really unique about Epic is it's about learn, grow, connect, right? It's not about compete, show, brag, right? So in the trade show world, in the conference world, you're out there trying to show your very best to as many people as you possibly can, and you're hoping to compete or get ahead of your competition or whatever, right? I mean, day 3, competition, looking at competition, right? At Epic, it is really about growing, connecting, learning, seeing the future, and shaping it. So I just think that is so unique in the fact that it's a platform for people that may be industry competitors to work together, right? It's really wonderful in that regard. It's not going to compete with each other. It's about learning from one another, and that's real cool.
100%. And it just reminds me of our leadership panel and getting to hear from some of the leaders who, you know, may have came from the trades, you know, are now in management, and really like, what is the obstacle standing in the way to recruit more people and keep them here and put them in the right jobs to succeed? So you have to share that information with others for industry. We have to share our successes. So really excited about that. Vince, I haven't forgotten you, buddy. Ready to hear from you.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. First of all, glad to be part of this, and I think it is epic in a lot of ways. The very first customer to sign up with me, as the folks know, I work with Charli and show customers reasons why they should participate. The very first customer that signed up, he was looking for something different. And he said, Vince, I want engagement. I want engagement, which is a beautiful word. Again, earlier I was talking about how it unifies and brings community together. But folks, if you're looking at an opportunity where hand-selected facilities that are brilliant, like Pasadena, Texas, was fantastic, in San Jac, the glass lab, seeing Gakuo with his showing the different wear activities on his product, and Ron was talking about PFOAS or PFAS and all that. I learned so much at these facilities. Now we're at a fantastic place called the Water Tower, specifically designed for that whole wastewater and water treatment professional. And to my mind, anybody within 500 miles that wants to bring up their employees that would say, you know, go there. It's worth it. Get a hotel, sign up, go and network and learn. And then you mentioned Colorado School of Mines. These are hand-selected facilities designed for what? To build relationship, to learn. This is not the stop and go at a gigantic trade show. You're there with these people for 48 hours. You get to talk to people. You get to have lunch with them and chat. And I think I'm excited about that. It's intimate, but it's designed to bring people together at fantastic facilities across. I can only imagine, where are you going to go from Colorado School of Mines? You care to speculate, Charlie?
We might circle back to Texas. We already missed Texas a little bit. So I think that there's so much there. And I will say that I would like each of you to kind of talk about what you're presenting. And HJ, I know your team is presenting on training. It's really exciting about that. But before I do that, I want to just say, everybody gives a little something. So you ask about next time for Epic. Ron, we've already reached out to Mass Maritime, and their facility is amazing. I would probably do something in the spring or summertime around that, just to weather, could be challenging in November. So we think about that. I'd love to hear other cool places that people have been, and see how that aligns with everything. So if you're listening to this and you've been to a cool facility, please let us know, because we want to hear all about it. Our goal is always to be around 150, 200 people. 250 is probably where I'm going to cap it off, so it still creates that intimate conversation like what we've talked about. So keeping that in mind, you got to plan ahead. You got to be ready to send your team and invest. So let's talk about it. We mentioned a little bit, Gakuo, will you talk about what your presentation is on, please?
Sure, Charlie. So this year for Epic 2023, I'm presenting addressing challenges of rolling element bearings in centrifugal pumps. And for those who know pumps, they know bearings are a pretty critical component to them. But a lot of times we don't look at the key problems that they face. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some data I gathered from looking at hundreds of bearing failures. And we're going to try and tackle how do we address those. So it's going to be interesting. It's like a part 2 of what I presented last year. So if you attended last year, you'll definitely find value coming back.
Wonderful. Randy?
I'm going to talk about centrifugal pump modifications. Those who are intimate with centrifugal pumps, they understand trimming impellers and maybe trimming volutes and whatever. I'm going to get into a little more detail on it in terms of what specifically you can achieve with the performance. And this would include the suction into the pump as well. And so it's going to be a little bit more, let's say, detail oriented. But even those who have been around centrifugal pumps for a long time may get something out of it. I mean, I live this. I have done it for decades, and so they may hear a few things that maybe they hadn't heard of before, or get a little different point of view. So I expect to have fun with it.
Yeah, and you know what? If anybody hears this and thinks that they don't need training or insight on that, or doesn't want anybody to know that they forgotten some of the things that they were supposed to know, we won't tell anybody. Just come and enjoy and learn. You don't have to tell us. We won't make you stand up and say, did you know that? We won't put you on the spot like that. It's something that used to come up when I started my company. It's like, nobody will actually ask a real question out here. So I get people to submit their questions to me, and then I would ask them, and I could always tell when it was a real question. So I think everybody needs to, a refresher. Also looking at it in a different perspective. It's going to grow. Okay, Ron.
Oh, hey, yeah, one thing I'm going to be talking about is kind of like a history of pump packing and where the technologies are actually moving pump packing from this idea of being in old technology and where it's, you know, considered something from the 19th century to now where, you know, advancements in textiles and advancement in gland loading and loading of packing has totally changed industries. So that's kind of what we were talking about, efficiencies and all kinds of interesting things.
You made me think of something, Ron, that I'll circle back to you, but I just have to mention it. When we were at TPS, there was the torque gun that you talked so much about bolting in the past and how important
Yes.
it is that I know. And so I finally got to see one of these torque guns in action. And so anyway, I thought about you.
Thank you. Well, actually, we, you know, there's so much still going on that, you know, our industry is just changing. So we'll be talking about that. And once again, I hope to have a lot of side conversations and stuff too about a lot of things that are going on in our industry, including, you know, there's a lot of PFAS updates too we can talk about, and things that are going on. So it's all exciting. And just one more thing about going back a few years, Charlie, you know, when you talk about actions, when COVID hit, you know, it was, I don't know, it was one of the first month of when everyone was kind of just not knowing what the hell's going on. You jumped right in and started having those monthly, I think it was every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks calls on Zoom. And I'm quite sure a couple of guys on this call, I first got to meet on those calls. And, you know, and Howard, the motor doc.
Yeah.
Boy, there's another guy that I still talk to today that I met on this call. So talk about what a great networking tool. And I think Epic is just a extension of that. But I wanted to thank you again for how you really jumped in action about COVID and really got to help all of us industry wise.
Thank you. And Vince is definitely a part of that. Becca, my team is so great about when I do have ideas like that and jumping into action to help facilitate too and encourage. We have a great team, and I couldn't do all of this without them and without y'all. Y'all make the difference of showing up, right? Showing up for each other. I know that, you know, when we're on those calls, I'm doing a lot of the talking, but just I'm encouraging people to talk, right? And I remember like giving the rule of like, okay, interrupt me because I'm going to talk and fill that space because I want everybody to be, you know, a valuable part of their time or whatever, but interrupt me, ask questions, and setting that expectation is so important. I'm going to give y'all the last word here as we wrap up. And I just want to say, thank you. Thank you to our supporters, our sponsors, our committee. And so if you would just kind of go around again, I'd like you to tell kind of who you are, where you work, so people can also know that your company is supporting you behind this. So we'll start with you, HJ.
So I'm HJ Dewis. I've been with ABB for now 33 years. So ABB is a strong supporter for me, for Charlie, the team. That's who I am.
Randy.
Randall Furman. I'm a professional engineer and engineering consultant. I live in Austin, and anything in North America to me is local. I travel around the world to consult with clients, and I have a good time. I like my job.
I love it. Gakuo, you're next.
So I'm Gakuo Ndonga, application engineering expert with SKF. For those not too familiar, a lot of our products revolve around bearings and lubrication. So kind of like Charlie, I've been following Charlie, just trying to get people excited about what they do, right? And sometimes it's not talking about it, but it's showing them. So hopefully Charlie can continue this, and I'll hopefully follow as well.
And thanks for showing up. Ron?
Yes, my name is Ron Fazard. I am the product line director of the mechanical packing products here at AW Chesterton. Just like HJ, this is my 33rd year here at Chesterton, and all things that are packing and gasketing is my preview, but we also have mechanical seals and lubricants and all other things. And as I said, we have been supporters of Charli since I think Empowering Pumps was created. So thank you very much, Charli, for everything you do.
Thank you. And I can't wait to see more coming out of your media room. Really excited about that. Becca?
Yeah, so Becca with Empowering Pumps and Empowering Women, depending on the day. Just the empowering team. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and yeah, I'm excited to continue to play a role in our team and continue to grow with the industry.
And she came up with that, the empowering team, when she would send out our Christmas cards. Like, who is this from? I don't know. The empowering team. So we love that. And so I love, this was intentional, Vince, to close with you, because if you want to get involved and you want to, be a part of Epic and you haven't done so yet, Vince will absolutely hook you up. Vince, what do you want to leave with?
Okay, well, I'm Vince Marino, and I work with the Empowering team in business development. And I genuinely, I said it before and I'll say it again. These are handpicked facilities with significant intention for unifying growth, learning, development, networking. If you've got a little bit of budget left, I suggest you take a good hard look at Epic this year in Atlanta, actually Beaufort, Georgia, at the Water Tower, and certainly put it on your calendar for next year in Colorado School of Mines. And reach out to me at vince@empoweringpumps.com if you want to talk more.
I love it. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, team. Thank you, steering committee and sponsors. Vince did create EPIC as the name of this conference, the Empowering Pumps and Industry Conference. And we love it. And we think it's going to be epic. And we know it's already epic because it's really all of you. And so until next time, be empowering.